Hello, everybody. Welcome back to 2190 Live. This is Zaina Allen. I am here with the business mogul, the mother, the wife, this all-star she is, Miss Ayesha Curry. How are you doing today?
I'm so good. How are you?
I'm okay. I'm doing well. I'm doing well. It's rain. I'm in the East Coast and it's raining
Ah,
on and off. And I'm not, I'm like, are we in Florida or?
oh gosh,
Very,
no.
yeah, very annoying, but it is what it is.
Uh-huh.
But Aisha, I'm very excited to talk to you today about Sweet July Skin and
Yes,
everything that has to do with you and the entire business that you have going for you. I want to just first start off with your Jamaican heritage, right?
yes.
Um, Sweet July Skin is deeply rooted in like your Jamaican lineage, and I want to know, can you walk us through like a memory from like your mother or your grandmother that still inspires how you craft each product?
Absolutely. So that's really how Sweet July Skin came about. I had grown up and for as long as I can remember, I've had problematic skin. Interestingly enough, my mom and my grandma do not. Like smooth like butter. And so anytime like through those teen years, something would happen, they'd be like, "Oh, put piece of tomato on it." Or like, "Oh, like use this from the bush." And I'd be like, "Yeah, okay, whatever, not do it." And then when I got older and things still weren't working for me, I was like, "Gosh, you know what? Like I've watched them all these years say all these things. There's so much bountiful, beautiful um produce and vegetation in Jamaica, like I wonder if there was some truth to that. And so I started to do some very mild research on my own and quickly realized, no, it wasn't an old wives' tale. Everything they were saying was true. Um, and everything they were saying could be used to help in, making your skin a little bit better. And so that's how Sweet July Skin started. We went on a very long journey to make it happen, and then launched in 2023. And then now in what are we in 2025? We're coming out with our seventh SKU in a few short days, and I'm just super excited and grateful. But my Jamaican heritage is pretty much all I know. It's like the core of how I grew up and my upbringing and still like my obviously my family to this day. So it's a very integral part of who I am.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we talked about your mom and your grandmother, but your great grandmother was a cattle farmer and a butcher in Jamaica.
Yes.
And I want to know
Yes.
like how discovering her story and it like influenced, if it influenced, the birth of your brand and just your identity and who you are today.
No, actually. So oddly enough, and I don't know if this is like for most Jamaican families that like migrate to North America and they just love to leave details out. But my family, they love to leave like these very important details out. And so my career was like well on its way when I found out this information. And it was just in passing on the phone my grandma was like, "Oh yeah, mother was a call her mother. Mother was a cattle farmer and the town butcher." And I was like, "Wait, what?" She's like, "Yeah, we grew banana too. Banana, yam." I'm like, "Pear." I'm like, "Wait, what? Why are you just now telling me this?" Like, I love to garden. I love to harvest. I obviously am deep in the food world. And so I think for me, it wasn't a part of forming that relationship and the business that I'm in now, but it made it make so much sense after as to why maybe these were some of my interests and why I chose this career path in life.
I love it. I love it. And going back to Sweet July Skin, the you said that you're continuously releasing new lines, and we have your lip treatment coming out. I do have my let
Yes.
me do the
Yeah, you got the essential.
yes.
This one's the lychee.
Yes. And you do have the guava and the lychee jelly flavors. I want to know how you selected the flavors and do they tie back to your Caribbean beauty rituals?
Yeah, yeah. It will always do that. I I wanted to start out with things that I love and things that were nostalgic to me growing up. So with the lychee jelly, um, this just reminds me of summers. So I grew up in Toronto, Canada. It reminds me of summers going to my mom's hair salon at the time was in this plaza right next to this Guyanese family's grocery store. And I would walk over there and get bags of lychee and just sit there and peel them and eat them. And so I wanted something that reminded me of that. But also these days, I love a good lychee martini. So there's also that. And then with the guava jelly, since I was a kid, I've been putting guava jelly, guava jam on my toast. Um, like on a piece of hardo bread. And so that reminds me of like my breakfasts in the morning growing up. And it's just so delicious. And so ironically, there's this whole like guava girl summer.
I've never heard of
And it's a thing.
that.
And I had no idea it was going to happen, but our timing couldn't be better with this guava jelly. So I'm very grateful for that.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, I've been loving the product for sure. I love a good lip anything. And I'm really big on like a lip product that doesn't do too much.
Yeah.
Like I don't want it to be too sticky or like yeah, I can't stand it. And
Mm-mm.
it gets really hard because like going to the beauty supply store, sometimes it's like I can get a lip gloss, but like is it really hydrating my lips the way it
Hmm.
do? Or is it too tacky? There's too much. So I really
Yes.
enjoy the Sweet July Skin lip treatment for sure.
Thank
Hands
you.
down.
Thank you.
So, you're a business owner, you're a mom of four, a wife, which this is all an amazing balancing act. I want to know like what resilience looks like for you, especially for a Black woman balancing personal, professional, and mental health. Like what does that look like?
Ooh, I think for me, that looks very day to day. And that's just the truth. I'd say like some days aren't great, like up here. You always try to like show up for your family and your kids, but sometimes up here it's like it's just not, it's just one of those off days. And so for me, the way that I try to like balance that and combat that is like by going to therapy as a non-negotiable, whether like I want to or not, whether I'm feeling the happiest I've ever felt in my life or just middle of the road. Like I make sure I go, and I find that to be very, very helpful and just like a nice outlet, um, just a nice outlet. And I think what's interesting about that is like as a Black woman and as I know I'm not technically first generation, but like my mom immigrated here from Jamaica. And so saying those words like, "Oh, I'm gonna go to therapy." Like it's like kind of foreign to the family and they're like, "Well, what's wrong with you?" And you're like, "Well, nothing. I'm just taking care of myself." And so I think like trying to stand on my own 2 feet and make those decisions for myself and realize that there's no shame in like in health awareness and mental health care and all of the things that you do to nurture yourself, I think has like helped me stay grounded.
I love it. I love it. What is it like having that support system too? Like I know that you have Stefan who's there to help you as well. What is it like balancing and having people there to help lift you up in these moments?
Oh, I think it's the best feeling in the world, to be honest, when you realize that you have, even if it's very small, when you realize that you have some sort of support system where you can bounce the good days and the bad days off of each other, it's really helpful. It's a game changer, and definitely not something I take for granted.
Absolutely. And speaking of being a wife and a business owner, you did describe business talk with Stefan as like foreplay. And I thought that was,
That was probably an aggressive word choice,
I think
but
it was a good, I think
I
it was
still
good. Yeah.
stand 10 toes down on stuff.
Yeah. So I want to know how does that dynamic influence your daily leadership style and creativity?
I think what's nice, and I can speak for the both of us, it makes us very collaborative people. Um, I think for me, I love like working with a team and bouncing ideas, and I never act like I know everything ever because I know that I don't. Um, and so I think it adds like another level of resilience. And resilience in business is like, I'd say even more important than resilience in day-to-day life because in order to be successful, you're gonna have to go through some trials. And so it's like how you recover and who you call upon to be a sounding board. I think that makes the difference.
Yes, absolutely. So my last and final question, I want to know, looking ahead 5 to 10 years, where do you envision Sweet July Skin, Domain Curry, and like your baking homegrown initiatives landing in Black-owned businesses and culture spaces?
Ooh, I think from day one of launching Sweet July, that was always the intention and the initiative to kind of lock arms with fellow businesses who are owned by women of color, women in general. And so I think for me, it's always going to be in the forefront. I don't believe in looking to grow just on your own. I believe in doing it together. And so I'm always relying on the community to like come along with me and vice versa. I'm always looking to see what other people are doing as well. But I think in every industry that I've ventured into, um, at some point you're the new kid on the block. And so for me, I think what's been so refreshing is there's always been a woman-owned business who has greeted us and like wrapped their arm around us unapologetically, whether it's like in the form of a teacher or partnership, whatever it is, it's always happened, and I think I'm grateful to see that, and it gives me hope for what the industry might look like in 5 to 10 years from now.
Amazing, amazing. Well, I can't wait to see what happens in 5 to 10 years with you and
Woo!
Skin and all of your business ventures. I'm sure you're going to open like five more businesses by then anyway.
No, we're good. No, we're done.
We're
We're
done.
done.
This is
We
it.
want these ones to win, okay?
Yeah, we love to see it. Well, thank you so much for your time,
Thank
Aisha,
you.
and I appreciate everything. And again, good luck to all of your endeavors moving forward in the future. And again, I can't wait to see what Sweet July Skin has in store.
Thank you so much.